All right, here is your next example. Again, it's a new one that I took out of our workbook so that it's sort of in addition to your notes that you already have. So determine a quadratic equation given its roots, and we're going to be able to take it totally further because we are given a point on the parabola. Okay, so what we do notice, and I do want you to notice here, is that this also is your y-intercept. Okay, so this will come into play a little bit later. And I wanted to do this specific example because you have fractions as x-intercepts, which you don't have in your notes, but you'll see how it's not much more complicated. So your first step is to determine your factors for your specific parabola here. So if I'm saying that an x-intercept is 5 over 2, now I need to know sort of the factors for this. So I'm going to reverse the operation here and get my factor. Okay, so now I bring the 5, which is positive on this side, onto the other side, gives me -5 equals 0. So this is one of them. And the other one, -3 over 4. So again, opposite operation, I bring the 4 over, becomes a multiplication with the x, equals -3, bring the -3 over, and I get +3 equals 0. Okay, so why did I just do this? So your factors are for this. At this specific point, I can give a good part of the factored form of this equation. I still don't know my a, so I leave that like that, but this is one bracket, and this is my other one. Okay? All right, so now I do want to determine what my a value is. Okay, and I can because I'm given another point. So this is x and this is y of this specific point. So I'm going to sub my x where I see x and my y where I see my f of x or y. In some cases they put y, some not. So let's do that. I get 45 put in the place of my f of x or my y. A, still don't know, that's what I'll find out. And I sub in x for 0. So careful again when you're subbing in, you want to use brackets. So here we go. All right. Now, 0 times anything is 0, so this will be gone. So 45. So I'll have a, and I'll be left 0 take away 5 is -5. And 0 plus 3, so that's 3. Now I'm leaving these in brackets, the whole BEDMAS thing, because then this becomes a multiplication together, which will give me -15. All right, I want to isolate a, so I bring the -15 to the other side and do the opposite operation, which is this is a multiplication, so it becomes a division, -15. And when I do this, I get -3 is equal to a. Perfect. So now I can write this in factored form completely because what I was missing, I found. So factored form of this is f of x is equal to -3. There's my a. And 2x take away 5, 4x plus 3. All right. So now I do want to go a step further, of course. Because I have the factored form, let's write this in standard form. Now, standard form, because I was given the y-intercept, so we'll know that our c value is going to end up being 45. So, but how do I determine the rest? Your a value is the same consistent in all of my forms, so it's -3. So that middle term is kind of what we're looking for. So, you expand and simplify. So step 1 is definitely to expand this here. So you'll have your -3 you'll deal with at the end. So you do 2x times 4x. So you get 8x squared. And then you have plus 6x, take away 20x, take away 15. All right, these are like terms. So before I go any further, I'm just going to simplify that, and I get negative 14x, take away 15. Okay, and last step is to distribute this negative 3 with all the terms, and I get negative 24x squared plus 42x and plus 45. Okay, so this is now how I went from factored form to standard form. All right, so, and I check, this is the 45, the C value, the y-intercept, like I said it would be. Your A value is still the negative 3, but we've expanded it. Okay, so if you were to factor your term here, all right, and then here we go. So let's look at what this looks like on a sketch. Okay, of course, I always want you to sketch it. So, what can I put down? I can put down my x-intercepts, which I get 5 over 2, so that's 2.5. So 1, 2, 3, let's say. So 2.5 will be here. And then I have negative 7.5, so it's before the 1, negative 1 here. And I know my y-intercept, which is 45, so let's say that's here. And, oh, is this a max or a minimum value? Your vertex said wherever it is, we don't know where it is, but it will definitely, because my A value is negative, it will be a maximum value. So, and it's definitely going to go higher than that. So here's what the parabola could look like. So from what I know, this is what I put down. Your domain is, x is an element of real number, always. Now your range is, y is an element of real numbers. However, your y are all less than or equal to, we don't know. Okay, so that would be left to find out. And you would have to either complete the square or use the shortcut method to find that. Now I haven't done that, but I did graph this, and I can tell you what you should be able to get. So I do encourage you to find it, and that is, this is what your vertex should be if you decide to do it, and voila. Oh, actually, there. Then you would put, everything is 60, what did I say it was? 63.375. All right. Here it is.